All right, everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna finally go back into my one of my favorite documentaries. Dark Side of the Ring. Dark Side of the Ring season 3 is coming out, and I can't wait for that. So big deal, small deal, whatever have you. They give you something to hold over with. So the directors decided to do a director's cut of a part of that series where it's confidential, and it's not well, when I say confidential, that's what they call it, the director's cut, but it's on Gino Hernandez. Now shout out to the creators and the directors again for doing something like this, because again, just being a big wrestling fan, I haven't seen anything like as far as this wrestler right here. So this wrestler is named Gino Hernandez. It's about his untimely demise at 28 years old, but I had no idea about him at all. But he worked with a lot of the greats, the Von Erichs, the Tony Blanchard. They kind of could have pictured him down the road in WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it. But his persona, his demeanor is eerily similar to Ric Flair, like the Nature Boy, like that limousine riding, jet flying, that type of thing. Yeah, but again, wrestlers, especially your historian, they just pretty much repeat themselves. They like you get this type of image. You take a piece of this image, a piece of that image, piece of this wrestler, piece of that wrestler, and you try different things. Some people just use the carbon copy and just boom, just do that same thing. And I don't know where Gino Hernandez was around the late 70s, mid 70s, early 80s, so into the mid 80s, I want to say. But so same kind of Ric Flair flamboyant stuff, but the difference is, I hear Ric Flair was there was Ric Flair like the regular person, and then there was Ric Flair the wrestler, the Nature Boy, and he started trying to start, even though he had a family, kids, he started kind of believing that, and he started acting like that in real life. And I guess, a lot of wrestlers had to do that back in the day. They had to kind of live that lifestyle, because that kayfabe stuff, and it won't get you that you have to, they call it breaking character. Like Undertaker's probably one of the last ones that don't break here. Yeah, you won't see somebody being a heel or some kind of a dead man or whatever, and then all of a sudden you turn around and he's giving out candy to the youth and stuff. I don't know, something crazy, man, like that. But I'm exaggerating, but it is like that. So back then, so with him, Gino Hernandez, he was actually living this documentary was pretty good. He's actually living that lifestyle, they believe, in and out the ring, because he was actually a baby face, who was, every once in a while the baby face turns to heels, and they were like, hey, okay, now we're ready for him to be a heel. And when he became a heel, that was instant, that was it. And they said he was living that lifestyle, the money, the cars, drugs, girls, all that type of stuff, all that limousine riding, jet flying, Rolex watch, all that stuff, man. That was actually him. He was living out, he was mixing with the Hollywood stuff. Matter of fact, they thought, now it's normal. Rock, John Cena, Bautista, all of those type of people. But back then, they're like, okay, he's probably not gonna wrestle anymore. He's gonna be a actor or whatever it is. There's a lot of rumors of saying, hey, he was gonna be in Hollywood and that type of thing. So it was a very interesting documentary, and especially if you didn't know the story. But 28, that is so young. Man, I can't even, it seemed like a long time ago that I was 28, but that's young, and he was like barely even in his prime, but sounded like he was just gonna be that dude. But had legendary battles with, or noted battles with the Von Erichs. Like I said, wrestled with Tony Blanchard. They wouldn't been surprised if he was a 4 horseman, that type of thing. But his his resume was doing, but I guess he got mixed in with a lot of. And Dino Bravo's story was kind of like this too, but he kind of looked like he got mixed in with the wrong crowd or whatnot. But the cause of his death at 28 was acute cocaine intoxication, if I'm saying that right. But it's basically, you OD from cocaine, right? And it's documented, and they had Jake the Snake Roberts on this documentary, which is kind of interesting too, because it was sometimes he looked like he felt uncomfortable. Out of all people, Jake the Snake felt uncomfortable talking, and he was like in that when they were asking him questions. So he wrestled with him a little bit. I think it was like a tag team or something. So he knew him very well, and he said, "Hey, yeah, it's documented that people say, oh yeah, this dude is a big cocaine user. Oh hell, I used to use it with him, and it was in the early '80s, so that was around that time, and they're not testing in every territory for drug use and all that type of stuff. So they'll probably get down with it. But even the managers, the female, maybe that was a mystery because he had like a wife, and he seemed like the manager he was messing with. He had a lot going on. But everybody that they all said, yeah, he used cocaine. He used big cocaine. so not as funny or laugh at his demise or anything like that. But it's just it's one of those things. So he was a big user, but like to have that involved in his demise is kind of weird. Like even when they were talking about and I like the way they broke down this documentary. They kind of did it in parts where they said, hey, this is a director's cut, so we're gonna start here, we're gonna break it up in parts, and we're gonna dig into it. And I guess the reason the creator started this this series was, hey, there's like, we're gonna go into wrestlers stories that have been touched, but it's like, oh, it's a shut case. But no, it might be more to it. We're gonna see who wants to like talk about it or whatever. And when they talked about this one, I guess people were telling them, hey, they shouldn't go down that road. And I don't know if I kind of took it like that, but they also said you're gonna kind of go to a dead end, like almost like people knew where you're gonna end up when you get there. Let's leave it alone. But they interviewed his mom. That was like pretty touching, and women intuition on display with her. So check that out and go see that. How she portrays like what she believes happened and all that type of stuff, and even the part about him ODing with cocaine. I don't know if it's the times or whatever, but they really looked at it and was like, there's no way you can have that much cocaine in you, like period. And you like basically the amount of cocaine he had in him, you could not snort that, or you could not inject it or whatever. You don't inject cocaine, but whatever, like you couldn't snort it. So that was as much cocaine he's done. I keep saying cocaine. Much cocaine he's done, you could not have done that much. So that was something else funny. And people that were around him, they were like, hey, his apartment or wherever he was staying was kind of like lavish and all this stuff, and he had all these things, and they were like, hey, he usually had cocaine on him or something like that, or somewhere a big partier and all that type of stuff. They said the apartment was pretty clean when they found him. They found him like, I guess some days later. He was been dead for some days, and that's like real tragic. But with all that being said, man, great documentary. Demise on a guy that looks like he was gonna be a great wrestler. He was, a good good wrestling. He's just hitting his prime and getting in there. He's probably called up to different federations that were doing bigger and territories and that type of thing. But yeah, man, it's nothing to play with. They said he was involved with some real stuff that could have been involved with this death and stuff, and even the funeral they said was extremely lavish. And at 28 years old, as a big draw in wrestling, he probably was pulling in some money, but not all that money. Where like they said his funeral was top notch. It was paid for by this one guy that was known to be a drug dealer, and don't quote me on this, but I think they got an interview with him on there, if I remember right. It was very interesting. If you never looked up or heard of Gino Hernandez, just look him up, or watch this documentary. I'm gonna put the link in the description. It was pretty dope, and it'll hold you over for if you're waiting for season 3 like I am. But yeah, shout out to the creators, shout out to the director's cut. It was something that was real intriguing, man. Y'all check it out, man, and let me know what y'all think in the comments, and let me know if you even know who Gino Hernandez was. I'm like my late 30s, and I never heard of him, but I consider myself a wrestling fan. Maybe I'm not that super big or a historian like I should be, where I should know him, but yeah, I'm glad I did know him. I see where some pieces fit and fell. But anyway, shout out to Dark Side of the Ring again with another banger. And yeah, until I see y'all again, take care of each other. Long live D-Mac.